Our consulting editor, Boria Majumdar, joins us from Kolkata. Boria, perhaps for the first time in a long time, India do not start as firm favourites against Bangladesh. Not just because Bangladesh has improved a lot, they've beaten them on multiple occasions, but also because India is not coming from a particular good high in the one-day format.
See, for me, the most important factor is Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the batsman, is missing. You know, you absolutely need, if you think of the Indian ranches or the way the Indians have batted in the recent past, it's Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the batsman, in the one-day format who's the key. No Suresh Raina, no Yuvraj Singh, I can still understand both were out of form, but Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the batsman, in the one-day format is perhaps the best in the world. There's no question about it at all. And in Bangladesh, I was there in the Asia Cup last time when the one match you mentioned, Sachin's 100th, they are very good, especially the left-arm spinners. You know, they know how to control the ball, they know how to control the slowness of the surface, they'll get after the Indians, try and get under their skin. So it's a big match. It is a big match, and if Indians take Bangladesh lightly, which I'm sure they won't, they will suffer. We hammered them during the 2011 World Cup, but they came back and won against us in the Asia Cup of 2012. So in that sense, in Bangladesh, at Mirpur, it's a very important contest.
How big a setback it is to not have Tamim Iqbal and Shakib-al-Hasan for Bangladesh, two of their more experienced players, Boria?
Very, very big. I mean, Tamim Iqbal at the top of the order can sort of go hammer and tongs for the Indian bowling. Relatively, young bowling lineup. Shami, who will, I'm sure, use the slower ball to a nicety. Bhuvnesh and some of the others. But Tamim at the top of the order is very big for Bangladesh. So is Shakib. You know, there will be a lot of pressure on Mushfiq and some of the other batsmen. But without Shakib and his left arm spin and his presence in the middle, he's almost like a Mahendra Singh Dhoni, despite the fact that, you know, Shakib is not the leader. So in that sense, both teams are balanced. The fact that India is missing Dhoni, Bangladesh is missing Shakib. So it's almost a balanced contest. Maybe the Mirpur crowd will be something that Bangladesh will try and use. For me, it is mostly a factor between two players. Virat Kohli on the one hand and Mushfiq on the other. Can Mushfiq get his team to rise up? And can Virat use Cheteshwar Pujara well and Ajinkya Rahane well?
Yes, and on the other side, as far as conditions are concerned, sure, Bangladesh are playing at home, although they've just lost a series against Sri Lanka at home. India really ruled the roost in these conditions. So the conditions are equal for both teams, isn't it?
Yes, the conditions are equal, but you know, last time round, if you remember, Bangladesh 290 odd we scored, and they chased it down quite comfortably. So it is Bangladesh's conditions as well, and India has not had a very good record recently, and that might put them under pressure. And without Dhoni, there's no finisher. So these are important factors that you've got to take into account, and Bangladesh at home is always a dangerous proposition, Shivani. Don't rule them out. One hopes India will start well and India will build on as the tournament progresses. But Bangladesh at home is a very, very dangerous unit to face first up. And we've not had a good record. 2007 World Cup, last year's Asia Cup, 2012 Asia Cup, I'm sorry. So these are important competitions that Bangladesh has defeated us in. So a very big match as far as India is concerned.
That is right, and that is why Mushraf Mortaza feels that if Bangladesh beat India, it should not be known as called an upset, because they've done it before, they certainly can do it again. But it's quite interesting, Boria mentioned Mahendra Singh Dhoni and just what a crucial loss it is for India. In fact, let's show you this in numbers. In the last 10 one-days, India hasn't really done very well. But just look at the average that Mahendra Singh Dhoni has in the last 10 one-day matches. These are the top 5 Indian batsmen, 71.66. 430 runs, and that role of coming at just a crucial time and getting that finish for India. This man is not playing in the Asia Cup. Of course, Virat Kohli, Shikhar, Ravindra Jadeja, Rohit Sharma all have good averages, but Mahendra Singh Dhoni is not there. Compare that to the top 5 batsmen that Bangladesh have in their last 10 one-day matches, and you look at the averages, 33, 39, 28, 24, 41 from Shamsur Revan. Really, there's not much of a difference in the averages that their batsmen are putting up, and without Dhoni that India has in the last 10 matches. Conditions both are same for both teams. Let's take a look at the bowlers now. These are Indian top 5 bowlers in the last one-day matches. Look at the averages. Good for Shami and for Ishant. Of course, he's not there, but the rest are quite down. If you look at The Bangladesh top 5 bowlers now, you'll notice their averages are actually much, much better in the last one-day matches that they have played. Rubal Hussain has done extremely well for them, picking up 14 wickets in the last one-day matches. And of course, Zawir, who's on a comeback, is also doing extremely well. Both have averages of under 21. Mahmudullah is not playing in the Asia Cup. Of course, this is India's ODI record in the last 10 matches. Only one, lost 7. One, of course, was a tie as well. Boria, if you look at these numbers, it makes it quite clear that on paper as well, not just because of the form that they're carrying, on paper, Bangladesh batsmen and bowlers are right up there with the Indians.
See, there's one very important difference. We need to tell our viewers that. When you're showing these numbers, the last 10 matches, 7 matches were abroad.
Yeah.
4 matches in New Zealand, and 3 in South Africa. So these 7-8 matches that you're taking into account, Ravichandran Ashwin 79, Ravindra Jadeja 67, it will be 17 and 27, trust you me. In Bangladesh and in India, these two are completely different propositions compared to what they were in New Zealand and South Africa. So there, the numbers don't speak the truth. Bangladesh, they've played at home. India, they've played abroad. That is what will nullify every possible advantage that Bangladesh has. I can tell you, Ravi Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja at home are completely different. I mean, it's chalk and cheese. It's like that. So, yes, Bangladesh will be competitive, but don't underestimate the fact that, don't say, okay, the Indian bowlers will not be up to the party. They will be.
Of course
they will be. For me, what is more important is the middle order. Who bats in the middle order? Who finishes the game? Who is your finisher? Who is your enforcer? Who is your finisher without a Mahendra Singh Dhoni?
Yes, of course, they've played 7 of those matches abroad, but India is also number 2 in the rankings, Boria. Maybe that should also reflect in the numbers. Overall, also, it won't be that good. But I take your point. India have played abroad most of their matches in the last 10. Bangladesh have been playing at home or in subcontinent conditions. But as we said, Bangladesh not to be taken lightly. They're hungry, as all of their players say, and they want to make a big impression against India. They've tasted that success in the past, and they want to, make it a regular fixture. India coming off bad form, new captain, a young side. You never know what happens, but of course, India will have the confidence that they can beat Bangladesh. That was about Bangladesh, but of course, let's also tell you about all the sides that India will be facing in this contest. Let's look at the strengths and weaknesses of not just Bangladesh, who are their first opponents, but also Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and of course, the minnows, Afghanistan.
Carrying the burden of 2 embarrassing overseas tours. In the absence of skipper MS Dhoni, the young Indian team will be starting as underdogs in the Asia Cup. It sure is an opportunity for the young Indian side to redeem itself. But it's easier said than done. The Indian side will open their campaign against the hosts, Bangladesh. Their unpredictable nature is what makes them a dangerous side, especially in front of their home crowd. However, a host of big names missing from their team will be a cause of concern. Next, India faces Sri Lanka. Their fierce bowling attack with quality batting is their biggest strength. But the Lankans too are approaching a transition phase, with Mahela Jayawardene and Kumar Sangakkara wearing out. Cricketing hostilities will be resumed once again between India and Pakistan as Kohli and co meet the neighbours in their next clash. Pakistan is already on a high with a series win over Sri Lanka earlier this year. The defending champions entered the tournament with a formidable bowling unit, but the challenge for them will be to stay consistent. India then take on Afghanistan. The young side has nothing to lose, and that's their biggest positive. Afghanistan's fairy tale run in world cricket has brought them to Asia Cup for the first time. And the experience of playing test nations is exactly the kind of exposure Afghans would be hoping for. As they say, rising in adversity is the hallmark of a true champion. Hope these Indian young guns conquer all challenges and prove their mettle. Sharat Sapaya, Headlines Today.